Abner's March of April 1775. Gilsum, May 27, 1818 A.D. To Mr. Abner Sanger and family, all and singular, I received your letter dated May 6th. I'm glad to hear of yours and your family's health. We're all well in Gilsum. I will answer your request about soldiering. In 1760, on the day that I was 21 years of age, I went in an expedition against Canada in King George II's reign. I went out in one king's reign and came home in another. We proceeded on to Montreal. Then our army returned back to Crown Point and went to rebuilding Crown Point Fort anew. And in November following, the American fortresses were dismissed and soldiers returned and spread the smallpox all over the country. Thus the French War ended. The Americans raised the rebellion in the year 1774 A.D., destroyed the shipload of tea belonging to the British. Then the British blocked up Boston Harbor. Many of the British people moved out into the country. Some stayed. The British kept Boston until April 1775, and then made a descent upon Lexington, did considerable damage. And they were drove back into Boston until Americans built Bunker Hill Redoubt. But I'm before my story. At the alarm of people, all were in a friskum fraskum, and Keene notice was given to meet at the Keene Meeting House. I was as big a fool as any of them. I went to the gathering.
April 18th. This night the regulars and Tories come out of Boston to do mischief. April 19th. This morning fair and clear. I fix away to town, the first time I've been to Keene Town since August of 1773. I make many stops, including the sawmill and Dr. Tiffany's. I end my day at David Nim's, and I stay all night. The regulars fight and do mischief in Concord. April 20th. This morning clear, cold, and frosty. Now is news of the fight with regulars in Concord, Lexington, Menotomy, and also of people being killed. Keene Town is in an uproar. They warn a muster. April 21st. The morning is fair, cool, and clear. The town of Keene musters in general. A number enlist to go off to fight British regulars. Captain Wyman is chosen captain. Then all that enlist retire home to make ready to march on the morrow. April 22nd. Morning very snowy. I'm up before day. I go as soon as light to Estes to make ready with his gun and ammunition. We all gather at Wyman's. Some draw powder and flints. We have Gilsum men join us to march with us. It's wet and sloppy. About 9 o'clock we all march from Captain Wyman's in Keene. It's wet, misty, and rainy all day. We head through the mud and mire, traveling to Winchendon. April 23rd, Sunday. Very wet and rainy. We get breakfast and wait until the invalids come up. We set out in the rain. We have to travel to Captain Goodrich's. There we are put up and have good entertainment. This evening is fair and warm, but smoky air. April 24th. This morning we muster early. We travel to Sartell's in Groton. The Walpole Company stops there, and thus we march together, very wet but warm. Then we march on to Concord and take turns keeping guard over our guns and packs. April 25th. This morning is cloudy. We are a long time fixing in the morning to march. We are ordered to guard down 2 field pieces of cannon. We travel from Concord to Cambridge Common with said cannon. It's hot, but wind blows brisk, and it's very clear. We are honored on to Cambridge Common with a number of drummers drumming with their drums. Then we seek quarters to refresh. Captain Wyman finds a place for to quarter at. We go to cooking. A number of us is drawn out for guard. We comfort ourselves with sore feet, but little victuals. Something of a cool night. April 26th. Raw, cold winds blow from the northeast. It's a fair, clear day. We draw our provisions. I am on guard this night. April 27th. Cloudy, and it looks like rain. I am troubled with lameness in the instep. I lodge in a barn at our quarters this night. It's cold, and the raw winds blow all night. April 28th. This morning I get up from my lodging on the hay scaffold. It's fair and clear and pleasant. This afternoon, Jeremiah Stiles, young Benjamin Ellis, and young John Ellis and I all go off to a hill in Charlestown called Winter Hill. It's 2 miles from our quarters, where we took in a fair view of Boston and of the regulars' tents and of the 20-something men-of-war ships in Charlestown Ferry. We hear their bells ring in Boston, either for joy or sorrow.
In Cambridge, men were as thick as grasshoppers, a great plenty indeed. There was a plan projected to enlist men and to make up an army, but a great strife prevailed to have a commission which everyone wanted that enlisted. Many got a commission that was not fit for it, and many had to do without it that was fit. Many returned home because they could not get a commission. Some stayed without enlisting to show their zeal for the glorious cause. In 1775, the Battle of Bunker Hill took place. The American leaders sent over to France and got forces from there to help quell Britain. And after they had lost 2,000 or 3,000 men by sword and pestilence, they obtained independence and made peace. Thus I've given you a narrative of my soldiery, and I feel happy that I was never found in the awful crime of rebellion, which the Americans were obliged to own when they were in the midst of it. And when the French got home to France, they set out upon the same project and took off their kings and queens' heads. Am ever your affectionate father, Abner Sanger.